So in the demo, I'll be creating a Java application which will send custom events to EventBridge. And if a rule matches, target would be invoked, which would be Lambda function in our case. And Lambda will process that event. For now, we will be printing the event details in our Lambda function. So I've created a sample application here in IntelliJ. I'll update this class name first. I'll change this to EventBridge example. In my main method, first what I'll do is I'll create a EventBridge client, and for that I need to add Maven dependency of EventBridge. Search for Maven EventBridge dependency. I'll click on the latest version here. Just copy this and paste in my POM. I'll just change the Maven compiler source and target to 14 because 14 is installed on my system. And I can go to settings here, and in compiler I can change this to Java 14. Click OK, and just make sure that in project structure also you have project language level as 14. I'll click on the preview feature, and in modules also I'll select the 14 preview. I think as of January 2021 we have Java 15 version where text blocks are full-fledged feature. So this is done. Let me build this once. So this is successful. Now I'll create a EventBridge client. Let's re-import from Maven. This is done. Just click on Alt Enter. I'll import this class. I'll select new default credential provider chain. Then I'll call .build. So since I'm using default credential provider, so this will pick credentials from system property. So I've set both the properties, access key ID and secret key. So I'll log into IAM later and just add my access key and secret key so that I can programmatically access my AWS resources. This is done. Now I'll create another method where I'll be putting events to event bus. So let's do that. So first let me explain you what all methods or API calls that we will be using. So we'll be calling client dot put events method. This put event method will take object of put event request, and this put event request will contain multiple put event request entries. So this would be the flow, right? So first we'll create put event request entry. Okay. In request entry, we need to pass 5 things. First is source. This source is source of the event. Let's say I'll say source is user event, But in case of AWS services, this can be like ec2.event or s3.event. So basically from which source your event is getting generated. So the second argument that we need to pass in request entry is with detail type. So detail type is nothing but a free form string used to decide what fields to expect in the event detail. So in our case, we'll pass detail type as user preferences. In predefined events in, let's say, AWS services, this with detail type is nothing but some free text about different services. Let me show you one example from official AWS documentation. You can see that this is an example of event wherein the source is aws.ec2 and you can see the detail type. It's a free text which says that this is about EBS volume notification. Okay, I hope you got my point. So we have set source and detail type as of now. Let me show you another example of EC2 autoscaling group events. Here you can see that source is aws.autoscaling. Detail type is EC2 instance launch successful. So this is about launching an event successfully. Similarly, you can see that this is the event about EC2 instance launch unsuccessful, but the source is again same, aws.autoscaling. In the next argument in our Java code, I'll show you the detail. Okay, so detail would be like this only. In our case, we will be providing a custom detail, but here you can see that this is about EC2. Similarly, for EBS, you can see that detail is result, available, cause, then event is create volume. So this is a very good example of events. So we will be creating custom events in our case, in our event rule. So in our case, source would be user event, detail type would be user preferences, and detail would be the option selected by the user. So the next thing is with detail. Here in this parameter, we pass a valid JSON string. Let's say we want to add 3 input parameter for our custom application: username, city and age. We can pass that in detail. You can just copy the detail and pass in here. So these would be the 3 parameters that I will be passing as an event. So I'll be printing these parameters in our Lambda function. So since I'm using Java 15, so I'm using text blocks here. So make sure that if you're using the same syntax, you have Java 15 installed. If you don't have, then you can use the plain old way of escape sequencing and concatenation. So since detail is also added, now the last parameter is event bus name. In which event bus you want to add this particular, or you want to put this particular event. I'll just add my event bus. I have created one put request entry object. Now after that we will create one put event request object. In this request, we will add this request entry object. With entry method can accept multiple request entries. Okay, so you can pass in request entry 2 here if you have any, request entry 3 here. Because I have only one request entry, so I'll keep it fun, short and simple for the demonstration. The last part pending is this client.put events. I'll use this client object and I'll call put events. In this put event, I'll pass this request, put event request. This is a simple, precise code for putting an event to your event bus. This put event method will give us put event result. So this result can be used to know if our event is successfully passed on or not. So this is the Java code for EventBridge. The only thing pending here is access key ID and secret key ID, which I have already downloaded from IAM. So I'll add that. Now we can go to AWS Management Console. We should create one Lambda function first, and then we'll create event bus and event rule. So this is my Lambda function console. I'll click on create function. I'll give name as EventBridge Lambda. I'll choose runtime as Python, and I'll keep the other settings as it is and click on create function. First we'll go to basic settings. I'll click on edit, and I'll change memory to 512 MB and timeout to 2 minutes, and click on save. So this is it. Now we can go to the Python code and just print in the details. This is the JSON that we are passing as detail in our event. So we will get that from the event in our Lambda function, and we can print all these 3 parameters. Okay. So this is our Lambda code. I'll just deploy this Lambda function. Now we can go to EventBridge. I'll click on event buses. I don't have any custom event bus, so I'll click on create event bus. I'll give name as my event bus. Make sure this is the same name that you are adding in your custom application, and click on create. Event bus is done. Now we'll create rule. Select my event bus in the drop down first, and you will see that we don't have any rules inside our custom event bus. So click on create rule. Rule name can be anything, your custom name. So I'll say my event rule. So in the defined pattern, we can choose event pattern as well as schedule. If you have a use case, let's say if at a particular time interval you want to trigger an event, then you can use schedule, and you can give a cron expression or a fixed rate based on hours, minutes and days. But since in our case it will not be a schedule, so it will be triggered from the custom application. So you can choose custom pattern. But before that, I want to show you the predefined pattern by services. So if you choose predefined pattern, then you have this option, all events, AWS services events or service partner events. Okay. So let's check out the AWS services events. Here you have all the services of AWS, around 95 services as of today, which you can choose. Let's say I choose EC2, and in EC2 what type of event you want to add. Let's say that I want to add this event, EC2 instance state change notification. Whenever state changes for my EC2 instance, I want to get notified. I can select that, and you can see that the event pattern source would be AWS EC2, and detail type is EC2 instance state change notification. I hope you remember that we have chosen in our application detail type as user preferences and source as user event. In case an event is for S3, then it would be like aws.s3. This is a pretty handy JSON, so I'll just copy this and I'll click on custom pattern here. So since this is already there, in our code we added source as user event, and in detail type we added user preferences. So this is the event pattern that we need. Let's look at the detail type first. So these are the three parameters that we are passing in our detail type. So let's say that if you have a requirement of triggering event only for users with age 29, then what you can do is you can add detail as here, and here you can pass age and then 29. So this event would be triggered based on this particular pattern, where source would be user event, detail type would be user preferences, and detail would be age as 29. Let's say if you want to trigger this event for username Ajay Vadara, then you can pass on here as username and value as Ajay Vadara. So if any custom event will come and username would be like, let's say Joe Biden, then this rule will not be matched, hence event will not be triggered. So these values are very important for matching a rule. For simplicity, I'll just delete this detail. I'll keep these two values, source as user event and detail type as user preferences. I'll click on save here. You can test your event pattern here if you want. Then in the select event bus, you can choose custom or partner event bus, because we created a custom event bus. So you'll see here my event bus. In target section, you can see that Lambda is by default selected. You can choose any of your service if you want, but in my case it would be Lambda. I'll select my Lambda in the drop down, which is EventBridge Lambda. So you can see we have option of adding more targets. So you can do that if you have another target for the same event, but I have only Lambda function. I'll keep the target as 1. If you see the description here, you can see limit of 5 targets per rule. So this is it from the rule. I'll just click on create. Our rule is created. Now we are done with all our configurations from Lambda side and EventBridge side. We can go to our code. So we are in Java code now. Everything is done except calling this put event method. I'll just call put events here and pass on the client object. Yeah, this is done. So right click and just run this main method. You can see that we have failed entry count as 0, entries as event ID with the hash code, because we sent only one event request entry, so we got only one event ID. If you pass multiple, then you will have a complete list of event IDs. So now we can go to Lambda function to verify if it printed the detail JSON in the logs. Let's go to Lambda and monitoring. Before that, I want to show you one thing before we can see the logs. You can see that when we created Lambda, we didn't add any trigger here, right? But in EventBridge, we mapped our Lambda with this particular rule. Okay, if you go on and refresh this page, you'll see that the mapping is automatically added here. I'll just click on refresh. Yeah, you can see here, right? This EventBridge and Lambda mapping is automatically added. So you don't have to take care of this. AWS automatically adds this. Now we can go to monitoring and click on view logs in CloudWatch. And let's see if our Lambda was triggered or not. Why this error? EventBridge Lambda does not exist in the current position or account. We didn't get any logs in CloudWatch because our custom pattern didn't match. So if you remember, we added user hyphen preferences. So I'll go to my rule again and I'll edit my event pattern. I'll add user hyphen preferences. I'll click on save. Click on update. Yeah, this is done. Now I can go again to my Java code and run this main method. So this is success. Again we can go to Lambda function and go to monitoring. Click on view logs in CloudWatch. We should see the log group. Yeah, we have that now. I'll just open this. Yeah, you can see here username is this, username is this, username is this, because we didn't update the print statements. I can go to Lambda now. I'll just change this. Okay, I'll deploy this. So this is it, guys. You can do one exercise at your end. Just try to add another parameter here, let's say company, and just see if company is getting printed in CloudWatch or not. So let me do that at my end. I'll add here in my Java code company as Google, and in my Lambda function again I'll print one more entry for company. I'll change here company as well. I'll deploy my code. I'll run my main method again. So we got 0 failures in failed entry count. Let's go to CloudWatch and just refresh our log group. Yeah, we have another entry here. Just open this. Yeah, you can see company is Google. This is it, guys. This is a very basic architecture demo, how you can use EventBridge in your code and how you can pass your events to your targets. So thank you so much for watching this video.